Hey folks, Mike here. Thought I'd get on video. Got up this morning, had a great morning. Today is Saturday, February 1st, 2025, coming at you. And man, I tell you what, when you're dealing with grief and things like that, maybe you lost a job this week or this year, lost a pet, a beloved so-and-so. It steals your joy, it steals your day, it steals your week, it can steal your year, right? Some folks run to chemicals. Thank God I didn't do that, because alcoholism runs very deep in my family, and I don't need that. Plus, that's not been an issue for me because for years I've been a diabetic, as most of you know, type 2. And just the sugar alone is insane with the types of drinks I used to enjoy in my youth. But so I'm glad I never fell into that trap. My family did. My parents, definitely. Some of my sisters wrestled with that. I'd say seasonally, kind of. They definitely wrestled, though, and had a hard time. So I'm just glad that I never went to that. The ideas definitely popped in my mind a few times, but being a parent, as you know, I have 3 boys. There's so many needs on a daily basis. It's ridiculous. Not to mention just feeding them. It's not really in our budget, but we do the best we can. So yeah, there's no room for alcohol. That's not even a consideration, really. And so when I met my wife, she says, "Do you drink?" And I said, like, I used to party. I was Irish Catholic kid, Used to get drunk on weekends a lot. But by the time I was 23, 26, I just didn't have that kind of social environment to do that. And so I just grew out of it. I was never going to drink alone. Where I grew up in Canada, that was kind of a sign of a pathetic adult lifehood, to kind of go to the bar once a week and go have a few drinks. If you lived in a city where you were kind of new or didn't know people, you just didn't really bother. Or to even do it at home, that's even sadder. So that was never, again, just the way I was raised, kind of, in the crew I kind of ran with. If you couldn't go have a good time with a bunch of people you know and love, and you've known and loved for quite a while, you just don't bother. So anyway, I say that because I've heard a couple, I shouldn't say acquaintances, I'm not even sure if they're that, but I know of stories where a lot of people have gone to that or similar, maybe pot or, whatever to dull the pain. Pills, and that's what people do. They want to dull the pain. So I've been addicted to sugar, being a type 2 diabetic. Now, back in the 90s and early 2000s, I wasn't a type 2 yet. And the idea of being addicted to sugar or food was kind of a laughable thing, really. Only in the last, I'd say, 10 years have people really kind of understood that could be a thing. And I'm learning that too. And to give myself grace. And that's hard when you want to go on a diet or when you want to lose weight or up your water game. I've been dehydrated for probably 40 of my 50 years on this planet. So there's some major circulation issues there. That doesn't help when you have neuropathy in the legs. So anyway, I've upped my water quite a bit since about Julie got diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer, and that was October of 22. Now, that wasn't daily water. We're talking maybe a few cups a week. Yeah, not much, but a lot better than 1 cup a month type. Yeah, it's just ridiculous when you look hard at the numbers. It's just ridiculous, and we do that to ourselves. Some people have 3, 4, 5 cups of coffee a day. I can't imagine that. I don't do coffee June, July, or August. It's too hot outside. I just don't need it or want it. I might have one in the morning in the spring, maybe 1 or 2 in the morning in the winter or fall, because it really helps loosen things up and wake up, right? And I do love it if I have the right creamer. Gotta have my French vanilla. Gotta have it. So we got to be careful what we're doing these days with our bodies and what we're ingesting and how we're taking care of ourselves. Mental health. I've heard of it, and I do have respect for it. Of course, you've got to, especially this day and age. We know that. But sometimes I roll my eyes too much, and I'm trying to stop doing that. I'm trying to learn and not be so ignorant. I don't think mental health is the reason behind all tragedies, but I do think it is something that should be explored and respected. And I know that, especially with what we're going through, there's a lot of pain. And so, what is Mike going through at age 50 because he's 50? What am I going through as I talk in the third person? What am I going through because I'm grieving? And then lastly, the mental health aspect. What am I going through because situational depression, so not having a career, being told at age 50 you can't really have a career. I've got doctors who tell me we don't want you working, even though I can have a great conversation for an hour or two. So, finding remote jobs on the phone are practically impossible. A lot of them are scams. A lot of jobs have gone back to the office. So, there's a lot of things that are challenging on our family front that you have no idea about, and it's very daunting. I'm very hopeful. In my years of some negativity, I've always had, though, quite a bit of optimism. Thank God, because that's what's gotten me through. That which leads me to my faith, of course, the optimism. So, I think as I'm trying to I'm in my car, as you can tell. Didn't want to do another boring video session in my basement. So not cool. A guy who does videos in his basement, that just sounds like, well, I don't want to tease anybody or tease any political previous leaders of the free world living out of their basement. My boys and I tend to joke about Brandon a lot in that regard. I'm having fun. I hope that didn't offend anybody. Last thing I want to do is hurt anybody, trust me. But I think we need to develop thicker skin, because one thing Americans used to be known for, and Canadians, was extremely thick skin. And so we need to get back to that. So I look to humor, as you all know. Used to get judged for doing videos with my wife because I was always kidding or joking or smiling. And everyone thought, this guy's like detached. This guy needs to like shed a tear once in a while with his wife, hold her. And she didn't want that. She looked at me if I did that, and she'd be like, what's wrong with you? Right? Julie would say, we can't both be depressed, or we both can't be dying because of all the things I was going through. So I'd always try to be a bit optimistic, especially when people would bring up my faith, fellow Christians. There was a few people in my life, not many, but a few that said, if you pray hard enough and you have faith deep enough and you're in the Word enough, the Lord will take this from your wife. He just will. Almost a manifest kind of faith, which I thought was kind of sketchy, because I don't think it works like that. Can he heal her? Of course he can. And at the end of the day, he has. That's what's going to get me crying. That's right there, that thought that just popped in my head. That's going to get me emotional. But no, I mean, we both know he could heal her. Or extend her life beyond measure, where that would blow nurses and doctors away, like 4 or 5 years. I can't believe this lady lasted, more than 18 months. So, and as most of you know, she went sooner than they expected with her on maintenance drugs. But when Julie went off the chemotherapy, we knew she'd have about 6 to 9 months at best. And she got 3. So it is what it is. And for whatever reason, a mystery to us. Absolute mystery. The Lord called her home, and we believe in the Lord, and we believe in his promises. And there's huge love in that. There's huge comfort. I don't think I've really stressed that out, and I'm going to start, to be a bit of a pain in the butt. I'm going to start really kind of soaking up the beauty in that fact. So when I ponder what to say and I get a little emotional, it's because I get choked up over profound, beautiful thoughts that I'm leery to share with you, because either I'm a little bit shy, which I can be, believe it or not, which Julie always thought was funny, because I can be, because I don't want to sound too corny, and I judge myself. But she's dancing with the Lord, and that's intimate, beyond measure, and just flat out beautiful. And to know that, like I said, there's a huge comfort in that. There really is. And one day we'll be dancing with him, and that just sounds so corny to my younger self, like dancing with God, kumbaya. A little cheesy there, Mike. A little corny, buddy. But you got to get old enough, and you got to kind of own it and say, you know what, forget it. I don't care anymore. I just don't care anymore. The world is so cynical, worse than I've ever been, and I've been very cynical all my life and sarcastic, and I still wrestle with that. And I have to go to God and say, please help me put that down and be softer, and a bit more, trusting in your beautiful beatitudes and open, That's why Christ said, come to me like the children do. I don't know the verse, and I apologize. If anyone knows the verse, please put it in the notes or the comments. But he loved the children. Why? Because they're easily misled? No. Because they don't judge. They hear and they listen and they come to him and he loves them. Period. Plain and simple. And so if we come with that childish curiosity, which I've had all my life, ask my father-in-law. He's a pastor. That poor man, I've driven him nuts. I don't think I've driven him nuts, but that's the idea. I've asked him so many questions about biblical truths, deep biblical truths, and different personalities in the Bible and stories that have just blown me away. So I'm that guy that when it's all said and done and we're all judged and we go to heaven, I'll just be there listening to God and learning and just soaking it all in. It'll be lovely. So anyway, I thought I'd jump on here and let you know the boys are doing well, like most weeks. Some weeks have been hard for them, of course. I try to keep that a little bit private, but I also want to share with you what they're going through. But they all seem to be doing very decent, and they've got each other, and they've got plenty of alone time as well. And tomorrow we get to go see Grammy. I'm not a fan of that name, Grammy. Julie told me that her mother's referred to as Grammy, and I'm like, are we going through the forest and up the hill and through the Grammy? Is there a wolf hidden like Grammy? Sorry, Grammy, if you see this, we love you very, very much. You're an amazing woman. Awesome. So the boys are looking forward to that. And Grandpa, of course, they adore their grandpa. And Uncle Mark is going to be preaching, so we're looking forward to seeing his wisdom. He's a wonderful man, and his wife, Lindsay, is... it's so sweet to see her because she's going through a lot too, so she's in my prayers. She always has been, but a lot more these days. So just good people, So we'll see what we can do. We're still looking at moving back to mid-Michigan in the spring, around June, July. It depends if we can find a place. If not, then we'll definitely stay here in Illinois for another year. And the idea of staying here for the next 6-7 years to let all the boys go through this high school is very hard to me because this is a very limited town. It's a beautiful, lovely small town, but it's really small, like under 15,000 people. So it's hard to, we can get into that later. I can explain it, but you're an hour and a half away from anything decent, and that's a ways for us. So maybe that's what we'll have to do. We'll have to just see, I like to plan ahead like anybody, to be responsible and to have peace in your life. So yeah, we're going to kind of figure those things out. The boys are okay with the idea of moving home, and they're okay with the idea of staying. So, I know what some will say, don't leave Grandma and Grandpa, and that's definitely probably the only real reason to kind of stay here is that connection with family. And that is important to me, but it's not the end all or be all. It can't be. And so, it just isn't. So if it was, then this wouldn't be an issue, and I wouldn't have brought it up. I would have just been like, yeah, we're going to be here for another few years, at least, and kind of rock that scene, right? And but I miss Michigan dearly, and it's home. It just, maybe not so much to the boys as much as me. I know it is to them too. They might not admit it, to be honest with you, but I know it'd be therapeutic for me to be home where I just need to be. And so we'll try to make that work, but we're not going to do it at all cost either, so I'm not going to sacrifice our quality of life to live up there. Not that where we're from is a huge town, but you're 15 minutes from two other cities with 40,000 people in each. So you add that all together, there's well over 100,000 people in our little Tri-City area in mid-Michigan, and it's got everything you need. So, plus you're only 3 hours away from Mackinac Island, where I used to work. Shout out to anyone in Mackinac, anyone who loves Mackinac Island and visits annually, anyone who used to work there. I used to work on the Rock back in the late 90s for several months, and then back in 2002 through 2006. After we got married, I came back for a few months and helped out. So yeah, quite a few years of experience up there, and that's where Julie and I got married. So yeah, fun fact on that. But still working on the software and trying to get these videos to be a bit more entertaining. And so anyway, it's been an interesting week. It's been very enlightening, and getting into more of my devotionals, which have helped fantastically. The journal or the devotional I'm reading with Sarah. Her last name is escaping me. Someone help me. Not Sarah Jones. Stinkers. Anyway, it's the Jesus devotional with her, and she's got an app. And I paid a little bit for it, but it was worth it because it reads to you and everything like audio, and it takes 90 seconds, and then it's done. And it fills you with so much optimism and love and gratitude. It is nothing less than medicine. And I need to find out the name of that app because it's on my phone and I should know it. But anyway, it's just been an eye-opener. And I mentioned it in the last video. I can't remember her name. This is really embarrassing because it's like right there. You know, that... Anyway, it's a lovely piece of medicine I need in my life right now. And so I've not been very religious about it. I need to be a bit better on doing so every day. I've missed several days here and there, but I've gone back and read a few. But for being that we've just completed the first month of the year, I've read about half of January's. So I think today what I should do is go read the other 2 weeks that I missed. And it's not 2 weeks in a row. It's like 2 days I miss here, two days I miss there, and it adds up. So I might have only missed 10 days actually. So I think today I should take 10 or 30 minutes and just enjoy those days I missed, and then I could say I'm up to speed. You know, I'm up to February 1st. And so it's a beautiful, sunny, beautiful day here. Very cloudy, of course, in Illinois. Lately, the last few days, it's been, after some brutal cold temperatures, it's back up to the 28s, 35s. Yesterday, it was 44. Like, I just don't understand this weather. So, do I miss my wife? More than you know. More than you'll ever know. There's a hole, and it won't be filled, and it's not okay to think that has to be filled. It doesn't. Don't run into a relationship just for the sake of being in a relationship. I've learned very recently that not all relationships are meant to be, even though it seems so right, or the feel or the fit is so close. So close. You can't settle. You just can't. You wish that person well. You move on. I am by no means perfect at all. I've been moody beyond measure, and I think a lot of that has to do with what I'm going through, the grief. My age, I'm 50. I've totally turned into that guy. Get off my yard. Get that stuff, go. I've totally become that guy. That's not cool at all. I never thought I'd be that guy. I'm seeing a lot of my dad in me, and Julie noticed that too, and she laughed. She's like, wow, you're getting a little bit grumpier than usual. So it's learning how to cope and grow up and mature in that, and watch your temperament and watch your heart, and make sure that you're showing the world the true aspect of who you are, not the grumpy, not the evil, not the angry, not the whatever. And we all go through it. We all have moments. Mom would get so emotional certain times of the month, and the boys would come to me for a little bit of shelter. Dad, Mom's yelling again. All right, well, just, pick up your room. Please, help her out, help out. Think of these things before she yells, right? Common sense kind of stuff, but things we all kind of forget. I did. So I'd listen to her. I'd let her get whatever she needed off her chest, and I'd apologize, even though I didn't want to at all. But I knew to kill her with kindness. And I'd go up to her and give her a big, long smooch on the side of her face, right about here, right by her eye. Just a nice long smooch. And I'd squeeze her and I'd say, I love you. I apologize. I should have been a lot more attentive to a couple things. And I'd pick up some clothes or do a laundry, and she'd melt. Immediately she'd look at me. She'd look like she's about to cry, and I'd be like, stop. You're okay, right? And that's that relationship I miss. I just miss that so dearly. So there's a hole, and it's about cauterizing it. And that's hard, and it sounds horrible, and it is. And that's what I'm going through. That's what I just discovered. It just came to me. I'm going through the cauterization process of grief. That sounds like a chapter, if not a book, that I should write. I'm not even kidding. And Julie's telling me that is a book you should write, because she's been wanting me to write books since, I think, the first week we met. She thought I'd be very good at that, so whatever. Just wanted to let you know that we're doing okay. Please keep praying for us. Let us know in the comments if you have any prayers we could give for you. Please share this channel. We want to grow it, and I've got reasons for that. A few of you have joined back lately, which is awesome. Thank you so much for all of you. Thank you for any of you who watch these videos all the way through, because one day YouTube's going to pay us. YouTube will pay us. Not much. It might be literally a few bucks a month. But that was Julie's goal. That was her dream for us, was that building a beautiful channel with memories for the boys, it being cathartic to help us grow and heal was the main reason. And at the end of the day, maybe down the road, it might in itself, without donations, just through viewership, it can definitely lend to the income, and that can feed these big boys. We lost our health care this month, so I got to reapply for that through the state. People think, oh, you'll get food stamps, oh, you'll get this and that. Not true. We've been through it. I've been through it. It's been disgusting. It's been heartbreaking, and it's led to severe depression in itself. So there's all these things we're dealing with, and I try to be transparent. So yeah, prayers would be lovely. If any of you have prayers, please share them. Our community can pray for you. I will pray for you. And I've had some lovely comments this week that have just been eye-opening and motivating and lifted my heart like you have no idea. So we love you very much. We really do. And we pray for you. And I pray for everyone who watches these videos and encourages us. So I hope you have a lovely weekend and enjoy your February, okay? It's Happy Valentine's Month. So yes, that's going to be very hard for me, and I'll probably get choked up more than usual. And that's okay. It's going to be awkward, but that's okay. So we love our Julie. We miss our mom. And yeah, just wanted to share this with you. Hope you all have a great day, and we'll take care of yourselves, okay? All right, bye.